Hello and welcome into another pickups video. This one is I got a decent amount of stuff here, and it's kind of all over the place. Some of it's from different time periods, different places. Mostly West Coast is again, but yeah, there's a decent mix of stuff on in this stack of stuff. So yeah, let's get to it. First thing I got was the Menace to Society soundtrack that came out in '93. Fantastic movie, of course, and the soundtrack's really great as well. Has guys like Spice One, MC8, Ant Banks, Too Short, The Lynch Mob. That song, I believe, only appeared on this Gorillaz Ain't Gangsters, and I think that might have been one of the last songs they made with JD before he got locked up. Brand Nubia, Pete Rock and Seal Smith. Really, just really good soundtrack. Interestingly, the P is still free song. It's labeled as a Boogie Down Productions song, but of course that ended up being on Return of the Boom Bap, which was like KRS-One's first solo album. A similar instance happened with the song Black Hop when it was on the CB4 soundtrack. I think it was labeled as a Boogie Down Productions song there as well. I guess people didn't know at the time that the next KRS-One project was going to be a KRS-One album instead of a Boogie Down Productions album. But yeah, this is a very good soundtrack. Yeah, and a great movie. I got this really cheap. As usual, with my pickups videos, I start off with the cheap stuff and it gets more expensive as it goes on. But yeah, well worth getting. And yeah. The next album, it was a bit of an impulse, but I only sort of got it because I saw it for really cheap. I got it for about £2.30 or something like that, really cheap. Big Daddy Kane looked like a job for Big Daddy Kane. This came out in '93 as well. Really good album. It's kind of like more sort of gritty, aggressive sound to it, because at the time he was getting a fair amount of slack, for his previous two albums, which were, people perceived as being more kind of soft and stuff like that. But he kind of came back hard with this album, and yeah, I really like it a lot. And yeah, I was glad to get this for a good price. I haven't. This is actually the first Big Daddy Kane album that I own, believe it or not, and I don't really have a good excuse for that. The main reason is just I don't see those albums go for that cheap. You know what I mean? They're always sort of a little bit more than I want to pay, but I'll definitely get them someday. I'll just give up and go, fine, I'll buy them. But yeah, I really like this album anyway, and yeah, I highly recommend this. This is good stuff. Production from guys like Trackmasters, Easy Mo B, Big Daddy Kane himself. Yeah. It's just really good stuff. Who else was on here? Large Professor. Yeah, really good stuff. Um, this next album isn't really good stuff. It's not terrible, but it's nothing great. Sally Sell, Slap Straps and Baseball Hats. This came out in 2006. I only got this because it's rare but cheap. I got it for cheap, but it's usually quite rare, and it tends to go for much higher prices from what I got it for. Not a great album. The production's not really my cup of tea. It's going for that sort of hi-fi sound that was kind of big at the time, and yeah, it's not really my cup of tea. It has a couple of decent songs in it. Bay Classics is like a good sort of tribute to the Bay Area artists back in the day. A couple of other decent tracks in here. It has its moments, this album, but it's nothing. It's nowhere near as good as his '90s stuff. Heat for Your Ass, Killer Kelly, and the G Files. Those are all way better than this. But yeah, all his those albums that I just mentioned all came out in Jive, and then I think he either left Jive or he got dropped from Jive, and he ended up finding his own label. But all those albums that came out like 2000 onwards, they're all pretty hard to get. So when I saw this cheap, I thought, yeah, why not? And it cracks me up then at the bottom where it says, "Win a free laptop details inside." It's just silly. And I think I did read inside. It's like send like a letter or something to this address, saying why you're the biggest silly self and you'll win a free laptop. It's like, oh, so cheesy, but yeah, not a great album. Don't really recommend that. This, on the other hand, is critically acclaimed, and I haven't really had the chance to sort of listened to this album properly yet, but I will do very soon. It is Razkaz's first album, Solo Nice, critically acclaimed, really lyrical, grimy stuff. I've listened to some of it and it sounds really great, and I definitely need to get into this one. This is the Japanese reissue. Me and Jake McMahon, very good YouTube reviewer slash, yeah, he does the same sort of videos I do. Check him out if you haven't already. We were talking, and he wanted to get this album, but he was a bit concerned about the the Japanese reissue, because on Amazon when you look it up, the art is like, it takes up like a quarter of the cover, and the rest of it's like a silver grid thing. It looks horrible, and I was like, well, Jake said to me something along the lines of like, yeah, I don't want to buy it if it's at that crap cover, and I sort of agree. It's like, yeah, that's pretty terrible. And I thought, well, I wanted to get this album anyway, and I thought, I'll get it, and sure, I'll tell you if the cover is good or not, and it's fine. So yeah, I'm really happy to have this album. It used to go for a pretty penny back in the day, but yeah, thanks to the Japanese reissue, you can get it for a reasonable price. So yeah, really happy to have this album. Another album that I'm really happy to have, and I wanted this forever, is that came out in '96, by the way. Razkaz Solo Nice came out in '96. This came out in '92. This is a West Coast classic, Spice One self-titled album. Fantastic stuff. I really am so happy to have this. I now have all of his Jive albums, his first 6 albums. Yeah, most of those are great. Spice One's one of my favorites, definitely. In My Neighborhood, 187 Proof, Peace to My Nine, Welcome to the Ghetto. Awesome album. Highly recommend it. This album's harder to get than all his other ones for whatever reason. I think it might be because of Triad Records. I've noticed that logo is on the back here, and it's not, they're not involved with the other releases, so I don't know if it has something to do with that. But like, some of his other albums are really cheap, like 187 he wrote, 1996, Black Mussolini. Those are all actually really like cheap albums, but this one tends to go for a lot more. Must be out of print. Yeah, goes for a lot more. But this is a really, really good album. Highly recommend it if you like classic West Coast stuff. I think this is a fantastic album. It never really, like Spice One, I think he's terribly underrated. He's fantastic. I put him up there with the best West Coast rappers for sure. So yep, really happy to get that. Really good production on that album as well. Some of it by Ant Banks, and that's actually who I have here next. I have his first album, Sitting on Something Fat, came out in 1993. Yeah, really good. I only got this today. I got this off a guy on Discogs, and he sent them yesterday, and they came today. Like, oof, can't get any better than that. Yeah, Ant Banks, Sitting on Something Fat. I listened to this for the first time today. I think his production is fantastic. I think he's, again, very underrated, but for a different reason. Spice One's a really good rapper, and this guy Ant Banks, he's a fantastic producer, really good. He knows how to work synths and get make funk on a record. He's really, really good. Yeah, I really like this. I've only listened to it once, but yeah, definitely looking forward to listening to this one a lot more. And I also got, from the same guy, I got the next album from him, The Big Badass. This came out in '94. Pretty much more of the same from what I've heard. I haven't heard all of this one yet, but pretty much more of the same. But that's like, with his production, you can't go wrong. It's so great. And he doesn't have that many albums anyway. The only album after this that he has is Do or Die, and then he has an album called like Doing Fangs or Big Fangs or something like that. But that's not really an Ant Banks album. It's more of an Ant Banks Presents kind of album. It has his beats on it, and he got like lots of other guest stars to sort of appear on it. But yeah, this is really good stuff. Like, he's not the best rapper in the world as far as like lyricism or topics or anything like that. But this production, man, is just great. Yeah, definitely recommend this stuff if you can get it. And then this last one, the Skinny Boys Weightless. I didn't pay that much for this, but this album goes for a pretty penny. This came out in 1986 originally on vinyl cassette. only, because CD wasn't really big back then. And yeah, Traffic Entertainment, you're known for like buying the rights of old albums and reissuing them. Did a reissue of this 10 years ago in 2006. But this usually goes for stupid money online. I've seen it go for as high as £70, which is like close to $100 or something stupid like that. I only paid £6.99 for this plus shipping. And it's not the best album in the world or anything like that. Like, these guys are just Fat Boys knockoffs. Like, they're so blatantly, but they're very blatant about it and they're very honest about it. They give the Fat Boys a shout out in the album, stuff like that. But yeah, I like the album. It's fine. But mainly got it because that is a steal. There's a big crack on the case here. I don't know if you can see it, but that's okay. You can replace that. This usually goes for stupid money online. I managed to get it for a good price. Really happy about this. It's a pretty good album. Like, it's nothing really all that special, but I enjoy it. You know, I like getting old 80s stuff. I need to get a lot more 80s stuff because most of the stuff I get is like early 90s, mid 90s kind of stuff. But yeah, Skinny Boys, Weightless, 1986, and yeah, I have the first Fat Boys album as well. You know, that limited edition. That might have been Traffic Entertainment who did that as well. That limited edition pizza box thing. I have that, and yeah, Traffic Entertainment. Those reissues are great, but they usually go out of print like that. Like, they reissued like Words from the Genius. You know, the Jizz's first album, and like, you can't get that anymore. They reissued like Kool G Rap and DJ Polo stuff. You can barely get that stuff anymore. So yeah, I wish the only thing that I ever really see with them that you can easily get is like Boogie Down Productions, Criminal Minded. Like, that's the only thing I sort of see in the shops. But yeah. Anyway, been rambling on long enough here. I hope you enjoyed seeing those albums, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks very much for watching, as always. I really appreciate it. I saw that recently hit 40 subscribers. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos and checking them out. And until next time, I'll see you guys again soon. Peace!